In the last video, we built our first Kubernetes cluster running off of K3s on my new Proxmox cluster. Well, I tore it all down, but not to worry, we're gonna spin it all right back up using automation, specifically Terraform and Ansible. Stay tuned. Quick reminder, I have the instructional and the scripts that I'm using for this lab in my GitHub, so I won't be reviewing that. And here is my Proxmox cluster. There are a few prereqs that you need to include spinning up your server template. In this case, I'm using Ubuntu, and we will be using Cloud Init, which is essentially a bootstrap script. Same exact thing that you would do with AWS or Azure using your custom data or your user data fields to customize your images upon boot. So same exact thing, and that's going to help automate our host name and credentials and SSH keys and things like that. So anyway, this has been cleaned up. There's my template. First things first, make sure you download these scripts and customize them, but we're going to go ahead and change directories over to where I have this located. If I could hit change directory, there we go. All right, first things first, Terraform init to initialize. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply with my auto approve variable so we don't get bothered. And that's going to start creating our instances. You can see 311 K3s worker 01 is already creating. While that's going through, just so we're not wasting time, I could show you a little bit of what's happening on the back end. So if I go into Terraform, this is spinning up all of my VMs inside my variables. These are my different VM names and VM IDs along with the IP addresses that are going to be utilized. So this time around, we are doing 3 controller nodes. That way we can actually survive one going down, and we have 2 worker nodes. And all this essentially is doing is saying, hey, let's copy this template. Let's attach the Cloud Init hardware, initialize Cloud Init, attach my user accounts, insert my SSH keys, doing all the basic work. So nothing really crazy. And that's going to take some time. So we'll check back in once this is done. Okay, so as you can see, all of my VMs have been created. Now we're going to use Ansible to actually create the Kubernetes cluster, download the load balancer, and go ahead and get all that configured for us. So I'm going to change directories to my Ansible location. And again, you can get all these from the script. The only caveat here is I am running a different variation of this just to skip the host key checking so I don't have to click yes, because why not? So there it goes. It is now going to run through everything on the script to include installing K3s, setting up the cluster, joining the worker and the control nodes, and yeah, checking once this is done. All right, Ansible is finished running, so let's check out, see what this thing did. Starting from the top, right here, disable swap. That is a prerequisite for any Kubernetes cluster. I actually already did this on my Ubuntu template, but it's fine, it's in the script, so that's all fine. So you can see here, disable swap, remove it from the F tab, all good. Installing and setting up the actual K3s cluster and joining all the nodes. You can see all the different things it did there. Then we set up our virtual IP for the actual cluster itself, and we use this in conjunction with Metal LB. That's to get a load balancer so I can connect to it from my LAN, since we're not on a public cloud or a public IP or anything like that. And there it is, it's done. So next up, we're going to skip around here. Let me clear this out. Next, I want to be able to manage this from my laptop. So there's a few things you need to do. First, we're going to make a directory. You can feel free to change the names as needed. We're going to SSH in to our cluster. And I'm going to grab the YAML file. Oop. Pasted that wrong. Let's do that again. There we go. All right, and then we're going to export the config to my location. If I copy this command over. There we go. And now we're going to tell it to use it. All right. Now we should be able to see our nodes from the laptop. So there it is, everything's running. I can see all my controller nodes, all my worker nodes, everything looks healthy, and they're all in the same version, running K3s, so all that is good. All right, next up we're going to deploy Helm. So this is going to install our new monitoring namespace, and it's going to set up our basic password and get Prometheus going so that we can actually scrape data. So there it goes. Just going to take a second. All right, there it goes. Next up, we're going to set that new monitoring service to use our load balancer IP that we specified. And now let's check on the status of everything. All right, there it goes. You can see our IP is now 151, and that's made possible by that metal load balancer service. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to get this working over our LAN. Next up, let's check out the pods. There we go. So we're still waiting on a few to go. So we're just going to wait until all these are show running and healthy. They know we don't take too long. All right, one more. All right, there we go, all healthy. Let me clear this out. All right, so next up, we're going to open up a new tab, and we are going to go to my load balancer. You can see I've already done this lab before. There it is, default password, admin. I'm going to go ahead and set up a new password. And here is our Grafana. Now, you're not going to have any dashboards set up straight out the gate, so you will need to make some. There's a whole bunch of different articles on different dashboards that you can go ahead and curate. You can also make your own. I'll show you just a really basic one that you can do. So if I come to dashboards, go to import, we do this one, 15757. That is going to scrape my Kubernetes cluster. Oh. Let's select Prometheus as our source. And there we go. Have a super basic dashboard here. Just monitoring the actual Kubernetes system that we just set up. You can see our namespaces here, the load balancer. And yeah, there we go. And now if I want to destroy this, I can go back into my Terraform directory. And I could do Terraform destroy, auto approve because we don't want to type in more than we have to. And it is tearing down. See, they're all slowly starting to disappear. There we go, all destroyed. So now if I come back over here, I can no longer get to this IP address or my dashboards. They have been destroyed. And there you have it, guys. Phase 2 complete. We learned how to do K3s the manual way in phase 1. We learned how to automate it in phase 2 using infrastructure as code, Terraform and Ansible. And phase 3, we're going to try to make this a little more robust. I haven't decided yet. I'm either going to do K8s, which is just a little bit more robust version of K3s, or we'll go Talos, which it looks like most of the industry is starting to go more towards that direction. But Haven't decided yet. We're going to do that. Might add on some more services to it. We'll see. So stay tuned for phase 3. And as always, guys, if you're just now getting into the cloud engineer space, check out my cloud engineer starter kit down below in the description. It'll help you get your resume going, build out some basic labs. That way you can hit the ground running. Till next time, guys. Peace.